Hey, good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas. How is everyone doing out there in this really, really hot day?
Yeah.
Too hot for me. Okay. And you like this heat?
I like it better when I'm at the pool.
There you go. And I don't like the sun at all. I'm allergic to it, too,
Yeah.
so that makes a big difference. But my dog enjoys it. So when I take her out, I have to plan on staying out there for at least an hour, So I put my little bald spot hair, cover my hair up with, the bald spot there. And hopefully I'm getting a little browner, but, So, well, how was your husband's Father's Day?
I had to work, so he actually came to Manchester.
No.
Yeah, they went to a rib place.
Oh, KC Rib?
I think so.
Over on 2nd Street?
I think so.
I hear that's supposed to be really good.
That's what my son had said. So they came up and had ribs.
Do you feel left out?
No.
No. Okay. I actually had a
If they went to the beach, if they went to Brown's, I would have felt left out. But
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good reports about KC on 2nd Street.
yeah.
I really have, so I'm going to try that. Yeah, I actually had a pretty good day. My son gave me a grill.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's my
so,
favorite cooking.
Yeah, is it really? Come see, come saw, And then I got
mess.
these 3 nice shirts. And then I got a lot of very nice messages on Facebook, so it made it all, And you're quite a busy lady, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Do you ever find you're overdoing it?
Sometimes.
Did it ever overwhelm you?
I don't think so. I think that because I am so busy that I just,
Don't have time to dwell on.
I have to make sure when I get up that my day is planned.
Really?
Yeah. I need to know what I'm doing, as soon as I get up.
When I do that, I get scattered brain.
Do you?
Oh, yeah, I panic. What if I don't make enough time in the day? Or what if this doesn't work out right? I panic all over. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, well, like I told you, I was in Newburyport before I came here. So the first thing I did when I got to Newburyport was I weighed how long it would take me to get from there to here. So I knew what time I needed to leave.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to be very precise, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. But that's who you are.
Yeah.
That's your birth sign, So don't ever change it. Because I think you get if you try to do something differently, you get all whacked out. You know what I mean? Hi there.
Yeah, no, if somebody, like if my kids say to me, oh, but I need you to take me to the mall. It's like, no, that wasn't in the plan.
We'll talk about planning our day's activities. Do you plan yours too?
I try usually.
Really?
Sometimes I don't. I do some days where I just have.
Right
I
up
want
there so they
nothing
can
to
hear
do.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than late.
No, the other way, towards the mic.
Towards the mic.
No, she needs to move.
There you go.
Thank you.
Better than late than usual. I would be totally surprised if Paula ever came in on time.
It's a long ride from Maine.
I know.
You came all the way down from Maine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, she comes all the way from Mass.
Yep.
So I've got it made. I have no excuse for being late for me. So what have you been up to there, my Miss Paula?
Just working.
Okay. And I was going to be over there and have you 2 questions.
I noticed that.
Yeah, but then I thought, well, you know what? We can question right from here.
Yeah. Why not?
Yep. And this is my favorite spot. It's really uncomfortable for me over there now.
Is it?
It really is. Do you feel comfortable over there?
It doesn't matter to me because
When I go on Mary's show, I think it's because it's different, and I'm not in control, and I have to be in control. Of course, you would never be able to tell that about me, right?
Control
So,
is an illusion, though.
I'm sorry?
Control is really an illusion.
Yeah, it is. Well, Scott lets me think I'm in control. But feel free to ask questions like you just said, how I got started and all that stuff. And I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 19 years.
Oh, I missed that one. So how did you? That would have been one of my questions.
Well, how I got started was I happened to be watching, it was called Big Time Wrestling on the old station channel back when, you know what I mean? We were in one little room for all the big cameras, you know, and the fireplace, and the table was bigger than the whole place altogether. So you sit over here, your guests are over there. So I got thinking, gee, I'd like to kind of do that. But then I got thinking, well, I'm not sure, you know. So I went and I saw a very good friend of mine, Buddy Stewart. And he and I were talking at Hereford, you know, and he told me what to do. And I'm there, well, okay. And then I took the class. So you had to take a class. And did they still have to take classes, Paul,
Classes for
to be a producer?
here?
Yeah.
Do you mean here, Norm?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I needed to go through training, but not through here. I
Well, yeah.
have college education.
But
So
we had
did you, when you first started, were you a producer?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still producers, okay? And it's my show. I run it the way I want, you know?
Yeah, I'm a
And,
programmer. Norm's
Yeah.
a producer.
yeah, he's a
Oh, okay. I thought you were the producer.
No, he's my director.
The
We're not
director.
going to call
Norm
him
produces his own show, and I program all the TV shows throughout the day.
But
Okay.
he's my,
Here
but
at the
he,
TV
yeah,
station.
but he's my personal director, see? I do listen to his
Yeah,
advice.
I tour through Norm. throughout the
Yeah,
whole
there you go. And what I do is, so I'm sitting there, well, I don't know, I took the courses, and then all of a sudden I said, I'm not going to do this. You know how you get to stage, right? Like when you first started, whatever you might train to do, Charmin or whatever, and you too, right? Well, I'm not going to do it. And my roommate said, that's why he's up there now, Jerry. He says, you are too. I said, you show me a sign, then I'm going to do my own TV show, and I'll do it. And wouldn't you know, my friend Buddy Stewart said, Norm Mooney, who is a psychic, is coming in to do his own TV show. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, I went and I read a lot of the people that were in the studio, except for one. And out of respect for him, I would not read because he didn't want. We can't read someone if they don't want to be read.
Correct.
And I think that's a violation,
Yes,
don't
it
you?
is. Yeah. I
Yeah,
see a
you
lot of
know.
people doing it, but yes,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a violation.
I always, even in this, I love doing the market basket. I really do. I think it's so much fun. But
Yeah.
I remember do you know Patty Pingree?
No.
Okay, she does the aura photography. She the chakras and all that. Plus, she does card reading. And she says, "You never asked me for my permission." You know. Oh, but talk about being embarrassed. You know. And ever since then, I try to remember. As you know, I will ask you every time. Even out there, I'll still ask you. Because I do not ever want to violate their show, you know, the people. So I'll always say to them, may I take a moment of your time? I said, no, I have a message from you for you. Either you want to hear or you don't. One lady looked at me and said, I'm a strong, born-again Christian, and you're the devil. I said, thank you very much. And you know what?
So that was a no.
That was a no. And you know what? You gotta respect. You cannot, nor does anybody. Folks, listen to me. If I'm ever reading you and I run into you, you don't want me heard. Don't be afraid to say no. You agree, right?
Yes.
And don't let anybody try to pressure you into having readings done.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I read the people at the studio, you know, except for one guy. One guy actually did have a broken back that nobody knew about. And then we had this big round table, and oh my God, my first guest tonight, oh, did our colors clash? They would no tomorrow. She had this bright red lipstick on and a bright red outfit on, and I had some other goofy looking thing on, you know, but it went well. And then I had my second guest came on. She's sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? But I get over it well. But it's all learning.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to have your own TV show.
I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, you can, and I would encourage you. Anybody out there, you know, these guys are not going to bite your head off. They're not going to scream or yell at you. Oh, I've been yelled at before in a nice, polite way because I deserved it, you know. And
Deserved.
what do you say?
Well deserved.
That's right. But when they will really bend over backwards to try to help you get your TV station on TV show going. And then, folks out there, I would encourage each and every one of you, if you've got something to say, you have a good show, bad show, whatever, talk to these guys. They will help you. You know.
That's interesting. Can you do that in any area? Like, could I do it in my area versus, you know?
Yeah,
If
and,
your
yeah, you
cable
can't do it
company
here.
offers it.
Offers it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah.
This is
Everybody
run by
can do it.
Comcast
Yeah, you know.
in Manchester.
And So then I started reading people. I started from a half hour to an hour to an hour and a half one day and an hour and a half the following, then like 2 days later. So it was a 3-hour show weekly. And you know what? Now I do 2 hours. I love every minute of it.
So is that how, when you started reading for people officially, is that how you
No.
did it, was on the show, or did you do it privately, or?
No, I've always done a lot of private readings. Oh, I've been doing private readings all for a lot of years, older than you are, believe me when I say that.
Might be older than you think.
Over 50 years.
I'm over 50.
Oh, okay then, together. Hiya. Come on up here with a chair and join us.
Sit in the hot seat.
Yeah. There's another seat over there.
There's a chair right over there.
Yeah. And you two can share a bike if you have to.
There's one right on the floor.
Oh, there's one right on the floor. Okay. Yeah, I've been, how I got started, I always knew that I had this gift. You know what I'm saying? And, but being a child, you don't understand it. You don't, you get kind of scared of it or whatever, and so you know you're different. There you go. Wait a minute. Check with director out there.
Yeah, he already talked to me about it.
Okay.
Briefed
And,
him. He's good.
well, he's bigger than I am. That's why I'm pushing off on you. See?
Yeah, I know.
Besides, I'm pretty.
I am too.
There you go. But and so inside, then I get into doing it when you're drunk. Never do a reading when you're drunk. Never do a reading when you're high. Trust me, I've had tables come up like that. I've actually seen people go after other people. One lady almost bit her husband. You know what? Sees I won't say it.
Oh,
you know.
my.
Oh yeah. Then I got up in the dark side. I lived on the dark side for a lot of years. I actually got up and I tried to explain in court. I was doing a seance. I call them spiritual readings now. But doing a seance, I walked over and literally smacked this lady in the face.
Oh.
Because this guy kept bugging this guy who was a Canadian DJ. Can you imagine me trying to explain that in court?
No, that would have been a tough one,
Yep.
especially back
And
then.
One thing, I was really good at what I was doing, even drunk or sober. Then I got thinking, then I started my own cult. I really did. I had a huge following going. And then I said, wait a minute, what the heck am I doing? Oh, my spiritual guide said it. So I moved out of out of Laconia. I moved here, and this is when I started rebuilding my life. And I love it. And I always remember my first psychic party. I always remember that. Had a lot of, I think I got $10 per person back then. But you know what? That was okay, because that's,
Back
it was
then,
a
it was
beginning.
probably more money, too.
Yeah, it was. Tax-free, because I didn't have to claim it then. Over 20 years ago, folks.
Statute of limitations is up.
Yeah, I can always remember this little old lady with, she come in, beautiful heart, beautiful soul, the most beautiful white hair, a little bit whiter than what his beard is. His beard is a distant white. See, it's going to get there though. Yeah, and she come in, she sat down with her case. She goes, "I'm not leaving here until you tell me how much longer I have to live and when I'm going to die." I'm like, oh my
wow.
God.
Talk about the hardest question ever.
So I went out and I got her daughter, and her daughter come in. She said, "You better tell her, because we know you know." And I knew, oh my God, how do you tell someone, And I said, "You're not going to make it till Christmas." 2 hours before Christmas, she crossed.
Wow.
There's just some parts of what I do, and I'm sure you do tarot cards, right?
I've been doing the Oracle cards
Oracle
right
cards,
now
yeah,
to start.
yeah.
I do play with tarot cards.
Yeah, okay. By the way, October 20th, if you want to be a reader at my event in October, I'll send you an application.
Sounds good.
Okay, and I can't tell you on the air because I'll get in trouble, but it'll be good. It's for the healing pause.
Yes, I want to ask you
And
about
I'm
that,
so
too.
excited. I have a group that are all working together. Except one of the people, I misread what she wrote on it, and all this stuff. So I got, well, if they don't like what I'm doing, then the pity pot. Because you've never been on the pity pot, have you? You never have, right?
I try not to. I don't know. I don't think so. I
Yeah?
don't think
Oh,
I was
I
brought up that way. I think my mother
Have
would.
you ever been on the pity pot?
mother would've
Poor
kicked
me,
us off.
nobody likes what I'm doing or whatever.
No, because I
I'm
really
going out and eat
don't.
worms.
Yeah, I don't really care what people think.
No,
what I
but
do.
you're growing. I'm very sensitive in that stuff, you know. And I tell people, you don't have a right to get a pity party, and I didn't have a right to. And I got everything blown out of proportion. And my poor partner, I yelled at him over. I'm fortunate to have a partner that I have. I really am, because he puts up with my bull-ass ways, shall we say. I'll use it that way, But one thing I always tell people, there's no time for pity parties, and I have to practice what I tell other people. One lady, she actually has a TV show here, and said, there's no such thing as a pity party. Now, I looked it up in the dictionary, it's not in the dictionary. I said, that's okay, I can still combine them. Right? Well, you know what I mean by
Yep,
pity party, right?
absolutely,
If people
yep.
don't know, then they're
Yep.
more naive than I am, And, but as years go by, I get more. People have a hard time believing this, and that's okay. I was very, very shy at one time.
I could see that.
Okay, I mean, I was abused by my dad. They fun of my people at school, and I got to tell you, folks, if you do not have confidence, you can get it here, having your own TV show. Because it is up to you. You can control it, or you can let somebody else control it. At one time, I was letting other people control until I finally, Lori, I got to give Lori credit. She's one of my favorites, right? And she says, Norm, it's your show. You do what you want. And that's when I started rebuilding, And I still miss her coming on and all that.
Yeah.
But then I also, I love doing medium, people call it medium work. I call it talking with the spirits from the other side, okay? And I love doing that. And I don't think you have to be trained, but I don't know, but that's just my own personal opinion. If the spirits want to talk to you, well, because you work with UFOs, right?
Not
No, not
yet,
UFO, but
technically, but
yeah.
I do a lot of that as part of the paranormal.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
word I meant, And then, do you find if the spirits want to talk with you, they're going to talk to you?
Absolutely, and if they
Okay.
don't, then they just
They're
kind
not
of
gonna.
hang back and watch, and I
And they'll laugh at you.
I can tell they're there, but
You work with the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you ever work with UFOs as well?
I have researched them, and I have personally seen them, but we have not done an investigation as a team yet into them.
You have to do it as an individual.
Yes.
Okay. They don't like to have a lot of
Right.
people around them. I can tell you, I do believe in them. Do you?
I'm on the fence. I'm thinking that, if we're here, who's to say they're not there?
That's right.
Yeah,
I can remember, oh my God, now I'm telling my age. Well, I'm only 35, right? But I can tell when my next to the oldest stepdaughter, we were living in Maconia, in the right side Memorial Park. We kept seeing this ship going on in this circle and circle. All of a sudden, we saw it disappear down onto somewhere. And all of a sudden, I looked at my youngest stepdaughter, her friend, my next to the oldest, and they're walking out of there like they're in hypnotized, they're in a trance or whatever. And we say, what is going on? And when my next to the oldest stepdaughter was pregnant, she could relive what happened to her in that area. So do I believe in UFOs? Absolutely. I've actually seen trail marks with it too. So I also believe that people can come into Earth as aliens, but look at like people.
I do too.
Okay. I actually have had 2 clients that come in like that.
I have seen people that I knew weren't from here.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Well, we're gonna.
Do you just see them in the grocery store, or are they people that you know?
I have a couple of them I saw in a cafe in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
But it was the feeling that came off from them, and and they actually could contact me. I mean, I could hear them almost. I guess it's not like speech.
No,
But I
you
could
you
tell
did
that they were
buzzy type
different.
noise, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was almost like I was seeing, you know how you see on TV the UFO, they had the steel bodies or whatever, and this is what I was looking at, okay. Folks, this is going to be an off-the-wall show today, so it's going to be different. I like off-the-wall, don't you?
Gotta have it once in a while.
I don't like that. Well, you and I had a good show last week, right? Yeah. Who we have on? Mary, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and we have not because the people never fail to show up too, But I don't want to have. I the one thing I will not do again, I don't believe, is having another political show. It wasn't who I was.
No, this.
It took away from what I really like to do.
Yeah, because you can get caught up in different things and pulled, and
Yeah.
everybody.
I wanted to talk more about the Second Amendment, and it got all blown out of proportion. So
Yeah, because everybody
had their
has
own-
is really
yeah,
has a lot of high emotions about it.
and I don't want to
And
disappoint.
different laws. I'm
Right.
sure your laws in
Correct.
Maine are different than the laws in New Hampshire and the
Yeah.
laws in Massachusetts.
Everybody's laws are different than
You know.
Massachusetts.
And I think that they should be, and that's one of the things that I find when somebody starts talking to me. It's like, wait a minute, no, you can do this in that state, but you can't do this in this state.
Right.
Like
know?
my son can't carry a gun in Massachusetts, right?
Right.
Even though he has a gun permit, he still cannot carry a gun. Right?
Not unless he goes to the Massachusetts
Right.
criteria.
Well,
of
then
concealed
I
weapons
think there
permit.
should be some kind of like a universal type permit or non.
I agree, too.
I agree with that
Yeah.
too. You know.
Well, like if we buy a weapon in Maine, we can't take it home.
Well, it depends.
It has to
if
be-
if it's a rifle, yes, you may. If you go to the one of the places in Maine, as long as it's a rifle or long gun, you can actually buy it and take it home. But if it's a handgun, it has to be transferred over to that state to an FFL. And
Yeah, because we have to go to
Right.
the trading post
Yep.
in Massachusetts and pick it up.
Wow.
You know,
Well, a friend of mine told me that he had to take a gun course in Massachusetts to get a gun, and then there's no refund. And if they don't like your attitude, they don't have to give it to you.
Nope.
right.
and they can take it away.
Right.
They can take your permit away at any time too.
Well, that's like here in Manchester. I applied for a gun permit, and because the chief of police didn't like me or my attitude, he said, "No, we're not giving you one."
Right.
See, I don't think that's right. If you don't have a prison record, now you don't have to have the gun permit in
Right.
New Hampshire. So I think that's a good thing.
But look at the mass shootings. Most of these people don't have.
No, and then,
There's
yeah, I'm a firm believer that everyone that really wants a gun I'm a firm believer that if you go to a gun store, and you should be required to take a course on gun safety and how to shoot a gun. But then people say, but that's a violation of your Second Amendment right.
that's
But
how you
it's
have
not.
to have it in Massachusetts.
Yeah. I don't see how it could be a violation
No,
because you're still
neither do
getting
I,
the
because
gun.
you had to, and most people had to take driver's ed to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I had to take one in California and then I had to take another one in New Hampshire. They told me I drove too wild.
I mean, I do think it makes sense because back when that particular thing wasn't an issue, way back in the day, we weren't as populated.
Right.
But we're very populated, now. So
Yeah, but if a criminal or like these mass murderers, like the teenagers who I don't think should have guns, if they want to, they'll get a gun. It doesn't matter whether they get it from
Absolutely.
their father or whether they get it from what. If they're determined to get it, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Right, but you'll find a lot of these people that are doing the mass shootings. Back in the day, I mean, I've looked back when I was in high school. We never had mass shootings, but the mass shootings started showing up as soon as pharmacology started going into people like Ritalin and stuff like that. And you'll find in a lot of these mass shootings, somebody's on some type of pharmaceutical
Yeah.
for some type
I
of.
got so many people, man. Do you ever read how I put on what I put on Facebook?
Yes, I do.
sometimes
I get yeah. You and I go together, don't we? Huh?
I keep scrolling.
Nope.
Well, I get a lot of people going, don't I? Yeah, and I love every minute. So your last name is Hardy?
Yeah.
Oh, now I can. You and I stick together on. But don't you think it all starts from home when the doctor prescribed Ritalin or speed? Because Ritalin has speed in it.
Yes, it's a synthetic
really
form
does.
of cocaine.
Yeah. I have a very dear friend, love you, Dave, and he would tell me how he got started in the speed and meth and all that stuff because he had Ritalin and his mother had the pharmaceutical drugs and he just started popping them and then he got into steroids and all that and then he got to, I don't believe he had the HIV, I really too you don't, but back in the 80s, if you were gay, you were automatically considered having HIV and all that, and so he went to the test on it, but because he had all the symptoms from the, that medication, I always have a very special feeling in my heart because he said to me, I love you, you're my best friend, and 3 days later he crossed over. So I still have that as a memory. And there's some things that we have to worry about. You have to, even though it hasn't happened here in Manchester or in the area. Well, you live in a wooded area, right?
I live in the tip of Maine. It's
Yeah.
pretty. I guess
We're laid back residential.
Yeah, but they don't have running water, electricity there yet, right? You have monkeys that carry the water in
not
for you.
monkeys. No, it's
No?
cattle.
Oh, you have the
Cattle?
cows that
We
bring
have
in.
oxen.
Oxen.
Oxen run the pumps, yeah.
Okay. I've had people actually get really upset with me when I get around. I'm from a small town, Springfield, New Hampshire. You
Yep.
can't get any smaller than that.
Nope.
They have more people than they have animals. You know what that is?
I've
You know
heard
where
of it.
New
Yeah,
London, New
actually, I've
Hampshire
heard
is?
of it.
Yeah.
I think I know where.
Yeah, I'm from that in the New London, the high class area.
Yes.
So I didn't fit into their realm of things. So, but I think I always knew that I was spiritually gifted, but I didn't understand it. I always had this spiritual side about me. I can remember one of my foster mothers, bless her heart. I can remember going to a special midnight church service in my pajamas, with the moccasin slippers and the cowboy hat. I was like 4 or 5 years old, and she would carry me to the church. And for years, if I get emotional, I apologize. But for years, she worked with me so I could walk. Because I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk until I was like 4 years old.
Wow.
And my blessed foot, wow, when you started talking, you never shut up. I think you have a lost time. But you know what? I look at it this way. Yeah, my dad rejected me because he couldn't handle the fact that, the way I was and all that. But you know what? I learned it this way. If it wasn't for my past, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Correct, and people need to understand that about themselves.
Yeah. And when the people that are homeless, I don't know if I feel some sort of sorry for them, but I don't feel sorry for them if they don't want to improve their life. Does that sound cold?
No.
I think it depends on the situation that they're in. Like you have a lot of vets that come home
Yeah.
and they just know that they can't live with people.
Right.
It's
You know.
hard.
And that I
It is.
sympathize with.
It is probably one of the hardest things I have ever had to deal with is coming home as being in the military.
No bang on the table.
And dealing with civilians.
Yep.
Because your thought processes are so different than what I was used to for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is like, oh my God. It's like you people, for a while, it's literally, you look at people and it's like, you civilians are crazy.
We're so undisciplined.
Right.
Well, if you look at when you went in through boot camp,
Yes.
they took you and they molded you into this.
Right.
But then when you left the military, there was nothing to try to.
There was no
Right.
structure. There was no rhyme or reason for the way things happen.
Yep.
And it was just like being taken down 95 and just thrown out of a vehicle, and all of a sudden you had to deal with life.
Wow.
Yeah, because they had no programs to deprogram you to put you back into society. That's why, I was watching a video yesterday from on a documentary, and I actually posted it on Facebook of why veterans say they miss going back to war. They miss the brotherhood. Because it's just so hard the way that life has moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Because in 1989, when I went into boot camp, a lot of things changed. Every time I came home, things were changing, and it's like I was left behind. And it's just really weird.
So were you always from Maine, or did you move up there?
Yeah, no, I was born and bred in Kittery,
Mm-hmm.
and then I live in Elliott now. So
That's not that far from it, is it, Elliot?
Elliott, Kittery? No, they're
Yeah.
they're
I always think
right next to
Elliott
it.
is under the bridge.
close. That's where the town line is.
Yeah.
I went and did a party down in Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful area. You can smell the fresh. Of course, I'm pretty smokes a cigarette, But I had a great time. And most of those people that are from New England area, 90% of them do not move out of New England area.
Not if they're smart.
Yeah.
No, well, I spent a lot of years in California, but I couldn't wait to get back to
I
New
lived in
Hampshire.
California for
Did
4
you?
years. Yeah.
So you couldn't wait to get back here either, right?
Yeah.
But I'd go back again,
I'll visit California.
Yeah.
But I did some time in Staten Island, New York. I did some time. I went to boot camp in San Diego, and I did some time in Coronado.
So you were in the Navy?
Yes. And,
Oh, those are hot minutes.
well, yes, I was.
The earthquakes did it for me. Earthquakes
In
did it for
California?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so sensitive. Like, I'm body sensitive. I'm empathic. So that first earthquake, I thought I was having a heart attack. Like I didn't. The next day I had to go. I had no idea what happened. We had a small one too. It was like a little 4-pointer, and
Okay.
I had to go to a clinic the next day because my arm was numb, and I was young, but I mean, like, I don't know, I'm having a heart attack or something. He said, nope, you're just one of those that's sensitive to the electromagnetic energy of because it'll wear off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's...
Bonjour, here, comment ça va? That's all I know in French. She speaks French only. She comes to my office all the time. It's interesting when I have people from other countries that come in. Usually I have a translator come in. That's when you know that you're doing the right thing. When they come back to you, even with a translator.
Yep.
'Cause, I mean, I can mess it up real bad, but then I'd have to live with myself. Like with you, the work that you do and the work that you do. We can mess it up. We can blow people. But would it be worth it?
No, what's the point?
You know,
We're there to help, not to make
you're
it
not,
worse.
You know, and you're not helping yourself by any means.
No.
You know.
Nope.
May I do this quick reading of you?
Sure.
Okay. There is a house not too far from you. I actually see it's like a tannish color house or off-white house. And I'm seeing there's a lot of trees in the background. I'm actually seeing a big ball of flame as I'm talking to you right now. That's coming. I see a house burning, and I'm actually seeing like an older couple that might be there, and I actually see the man trying to get his wife out of the place here, and I actually see him getting her out, but he's going to be overcome by the smoke, and hopefully they'll be able to save him. And I'm looking at within a year and a half to 2 years. So just keep an eye on that to make sure, okay, we can put preventatives for them, okay? Now, I think you know them. Do you know your neighbors?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, we kind of know who we are. I mean, not know them.
Yeah, you kind of keep a close eye on each other.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Yeah.
You're in Elliott. I was going to say, is there a distance between you guys?
No, I'm in South Berwick.
Between her and I?
No, between your neighbors.
Oh.
I live next to, so South Berwick was a mill town. And so I live in one of the old mill houses, so there's a bunch of them, you know, that kind of.
No, they're condos, right?
No, they're like duplexes because of the way they built them for families, you know.
My brother-in-law is from Maine, and of course he's passed away many, many, many years, 40 years ago or more. And he made his money. He would go up by the army, going out in the thing about Jakes they lived in.
Yeah, the Quonset huts.
Huh?
The Quonset huts?
Yeah, the big round houses
Yeah.
and long. And he would bring them home and he converted them into apartments.
Really?
Yeah, he made a lot of money up there doing that. But he also, as a little French guy, made a lot of money, you know. And, you know, one thing that's great about America, you can make money if you want to.
Yes.
You know, even if you're doing it illegally, you're going to get caught.
That's not
I
fun.
forgot to claim all my money. I didn't realize with my business because I wasn't really making any money. The government came after me. Boy, I had to pay a big thing. I didn't know I earned that much, to be honest with you. Going, you know, made my makeup run, so I couldn't even go up and buy a new makeup kit. You know, that was pretty bad.
So with you being in Elliott, you're not too far from Pease,
Nope.
and you're not too far from Bath.
Bath is about an hour away.
Is it?
Yep.
Now, do you find that you have more alien activity around the bases?
Well, it just so happens I used to be a firefighter at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and I will answer that question with simply yes. There's a lot of activity right around that area.
Do a lot of the servicemen see it? And are they told not to say anything?
We'll put it that way.
Yeah. I don't know about the service members on the shipyard. I haven't really talked to too many of them. But I know for a fact, when I was active duty, I was told not to report a few sightings. And, you know, basically it was ordered that you will not report this at all. So.
Because, you know, you read that, I mean, you see on TV, you know, that the service knows that we have aliens out there and they work with them, but it's secret. Nobody tells you about it. You know, I can't remember what show it was that I was watching
Jesse
years
Ventura
ago.
used to be good with that.
Who?
Jesse Ventura.
Yes, the governor. Yeah,
They put a bounty on his head.
Yes.
Who did?
The government.
The government?
Yeah, because he knew too much.
The dark government.
Yeah.
NSA.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Do I believe there is an Illuminati? Absolutely. You know, there's somebody underground that's running this country. You know, and I also believe that there is a control far beyond man-made. There's a negative, like Illuminati, and then there's a positive, you know, like if you want, you know, and they already know, and when you go and people run for president or they run for vice president, the spirit already knows who he's going to, or he or she's going to put into office. Trump was already dedicated centuries ago to be elected. Obama was already appointed to be president. Cheney was what, vice president?
Cheney?
Cheney, yeah.
Yeah,
with
he was Bush's
Bush,
vice
right?
president.
Yeah, okay. And Clinton is, you know, all these people think we vote them in, but we don't. You know, electoral votes. It's great that we have the elections. It really is. And they tell you that the election, that it's all done by electoral votes, you know.
Right.
And when it does give us a choice, but the sad part with this country is we are so angry at what we don't even know what we're really angry about. You and I, we have fun on there, don't we? I love getting the people going. And because I really don't care one way or the other, to be honest. But if I can get somebody going, then you know. Well, you and I are very much for the Second Amendment, right?
Yes, very much so.
And I believe in freedom of speech. I had people call me names and tell me not to shut right up or whatever. And then I got some that blocked me. And the Democrats blocked me. And I think it's funny. You know.
They're very emotional.
But they don't know what they're talking about. Neither do I. And so that's what makes it interesting, you know. You know, in your past life, your name was actually Patricia.
I did not know that.
Okay. So if I call you Patty, that's why. Okay. I do it a lot
I'll
of
be doing
past life
this.
names that come through.
Is it?
Yeah. You know, like you and Bernadette, so Bridget, Bernadette, right? Paula, Patricia. Okay, see how they all
So they
run
keep
it
it close.
They keep it close. Okay. One lady got so upset with me, she actually walked off the air. I wanted to walk off anyway because I knew that was
So
going to happen.
so that explains when people call me a different name,
Right.
like when people call me Bernadette or Brenda, or
Right.
I just thought it was kind of close and they didn't really remember my name.
No, a lot of it
So
is
they
your
were like-
past life name. Yeah, you know. You have a child, right?
I do.
A lot like you.
Yeah.
Oh, that poor kid.
I would say yes.
Yeah, he does have a mind of his own.
It's a she, unless
She.
there's someone else out there. That
Well,
I don't
no, well,
know.
you also have a son,
Okay.
and he's about 27 or 28.
Well,
Probably on one of your escapades when you were in the military.
Well, okay. I don't. My daughter is going to be 28.
Okay, then before you go, could be older than that. Okay, your daughter really, she's very, very, very psychic, or spiritual. I kind of don't like to use the word. I prefer the word spiritual than the word psychic. 'Cause I think the word psychic scares people away. You know.
It sometimes has a lot of negative
Yeah.
connotations.
She fights it.
Yeah.
She's fighting
But
it right
it's
now.
going to come
She's
to a point
slowly
where it's not
coming in.
going to.
I did too. This is
Right.
one
I
point
think we
where
all
said-
did.
There
I
was
hit
one
mine
point
with
where I said,
alcohol.
I don't want anything to do with this, and I shut it off.
I hit mine with alcohol and joined the born again Christians. And I can always remember this. One man, come up here. We're going to heal you from being gay. I go, all right. So I got in front of 500 people, you know, making myself, because I wanted to make my wife and everybody proud that I was going to go the straight life. And he put his head on my hand, and he goes like this. God said you are no longer gay or homosexual because it's against all of God's laws. And I'm there, I don't feel any different. Oh, you will, brother, because we healed you. So I lived that lie.
Wow.
You know, and the more I lived that lie, the more I drank.
Right.
You know, so then finally I got it together, and then I love who I am today. I've been in a relationship, and my son mainly accepts it too. And, well, don't be embarrassed of who you are. If you stutter like I used to as a kid, that's okay. If you look like because no one can ever, folks, remember, as handsome as I am. and as handsome as you are, right? But we work very hard to be that way.
Right.
If you don't believe that you're good looking, and I think you'll agree with, if you don't believe that you're good looking, or if you think you're ugly all the time and things like that, you know what? That's the energy you're going to portray it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I have a lot of clients, I make them before they leave my office. I have a big mirror, and I make them look in the mirror and realize how good looking they are, or how they are, because I think it's important that we know this.
Yeah, a lot of people don't practice that.
You got a lot of injuries, don't you?
Yes.
Wow. In your neck?
Yes.
Did they put a fuse in? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you. When did they put a fuse in your neck?
Yes. I have three fused vertebrae and 3 cadaver bone.
But they didn't do a very good job the first time.
No.
Yeah, but if it was fused, can they do it again?
No, they can't refuse it.
Yeah.
It's-
See, that's why I won't let my husband get the
once
fusion.
all they can do is keep fusing above and below until your whole spine is fused.
And that really bothers you a lot of times when you walk, right?
That, and I have lower back injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, your hip bone is boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
You know,
feel
where it should be like smooth, you got a lot of little pieces missing out of your hip bone. I love doing it when I love
Right.
looking inside of people's body. Can you do that?
A lot of times.
Isn't it fun?
It
you
is.
know?
It's handy.
And I like going
So
into
what do you see? Their bones?
Yeah.
Yes, I might be able to see what's wrong, or I just sometimes the information just comes to me and I can't even tell you how it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll feel it in my structure.
Yeah.
So it's different ways.
I love going to the operating rooms and watch it. That's how people get operated. Like if I know somebody or whatever, I ask you to watch a lady's heart being taken out at a whole new
I'm
one
good.
put in all that. Oh no, it's exciting. Maybe because I was a nurse.
Yes, yeah, it
You know,
probably
so
is.
I like watching. I love going to the hospital and watching how people improve and stuff. Yeah, no, folks, I'm really not insane. I've already taken that test and I passed that. You know.
How long ago did you take the test? Are you up for renewal?
Yeah. But you know, anybody can do that if they want to. Anybody can look into somebody else's body if they want to. Okay. And then I'm also starting to, my son and I are starting, my son, by the way, is doing a lot better. Thank you guys for the wishes. Everybody who's out there that said get well wishes to my son, I want to thank you. He's doing like 65% better. They changed his
Awesome.
medication, all that. And Dr. Jody gave him some pills to take, and he seems to be helping him, you know. And he gave me a grill for my Father's Day present. Went on outdoor
Nice.
grill.
Oh, I thought you said a girl. I was like,
Oh,
I
what
didn't
would I
even know
do
that
with
anybody
that?
was pregnant.
No girl for me. I'd be running down the street. Oh my God, what is that? I had a lady, and I actually had to have someone get her and take her out of my office. She says to me, I could make it so you would never want to go out with another man. I go, time for me to get her out of here. And I looked at her and I said, it's people like you that make me want
Yeah. I could
But
see
I'm actually probably the most anti-gay person going. I'm really serious. I don't want any more rights than you or you have. I really am hesitant about gay adoptions. I really am, because I know what my son went through. So they say you got to let go of the past and, you know, allow it to happen. I'm not really sure if I'm happy with gay marriages. It has to be up to, I mean, I respect what everybody else wants to do. That's up to them. But I don't believe in the gay pride day and all this stuff. And if you're going to have a gay pride day, let's have a let's have a heterosexual day. You know, and all that.
just be
But
people.
this is who I am.
Just be
Yeah,
people.
don't label.
Right. Just be people.
You know.
Just be yourselves.
Yeah, I wear my high heel. Well, I used to. Until the last time I went and I broke my high heel, my boom fell out, and my wig fell off. So that stopped me from dressing no way that way, you know.
I mean, you understand, you know, sometimes that there has to be some of that movement in order for them to gain
Yeah, but
awareness.
don't go overboard.
Correct.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Once you become accepted, just relax.
When I went, and because I tried to sue because I was being sexually harassed by a company that I worked with, they had these things that looked like a penis or whatever. And I went, the lawyer was set up. A man cannot sue for sexual harassment, but a woman can.
I think that's changed now. I think
it
a guy
has.
can
I think
I'll
it
have to
probably
look
has.
it up. I mean, this is
I
in New
mean, maybe,
Hampshire.
20 years
yeah.
ago, but I think that it's changed.
I would hope so.
Because that's discrimination.
Yeah. At one time, if you dress as a woman, you had to have one piece of mail article in New Hampshire. And it was okay for a woman to dress like a man. I don't know what the law is on that now, but at one time you had to have an article of mail. But if anybody knows, you feel open up, give me a call. You know.
So what's that, socks?
Huh?
I
Because a
said,
man
is it
doesn't-
socks?
But it wasn't underwear or shoes or something like that because it wasn't accepted. Remember, whenever women lived together, that was very acceptable
Yeah.
back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And they thought it was cool that two women lived together, but two men, that one must, even if you were not that
Right.
way, like, let's say he and I were living together, he must be that way or that way. And that's really sad that people have to label.
It is, because, I remember people from my childhood, both men and women, that, maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but they didn't have anybody, like their families died, and they lived together. And
Yeah.
maybe people talked about them, and I was just little, and I didn't know, but it didn't it didn't seem like anything to me.
No.
It seemed like just two
I'd
friends living
hear
together,
them laugh and talk about two men or whatever when I was a kid and a child or whatever, and I could not join them. I could not. When it would come time to take a shower, I would not go in until I was alone, because you were ostracized or whatever. But that's okay today because I am who I am, and maybe who I am. One of the things I want to tell you is that your dog is upset because you're not listening to your dog more.
Actually, I don't have a dog. I have a cat, but he's got a lot of dog-like attributes.
Oh, okay.
But my sister does have a dog, and
Okay,
she
then
lives
that's
with
your
us.
sister's
Yeah.
dog.
Yep.
Wants you to pay more attention to.
Oh, he definitely does.
Okay.
He definitely
he
does.
is so much wants you to that he can be very annoying.
Oh, he is.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you love him anyway.
I do. He's awesome.
He actually protects your sister. I met your sister out
Yes,
here, right?
yep, he's
She's
a-
a service dog?
Yes, he's a guardian angel service dog.
He really is very protective of her.
He is very.
I would challenge anybody, even you, to go near her 2 calls and
Yeah.
see what happens.
He loves me though.
He's
he
very.
knows that I
Yeah.
You
mean
went
no
to
harm.
hurt her?
Oh no, yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
That's a different story.
Yeah. I had a beautiful dog and knew my son really well. It wasn't a service dog, but just very protective of me. My son come into the room to talk to me. My dog literally went right after him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
you know. And they do. My little Chihuahua, she'll go after. She'll try.
Chihuahuas don't care. They
Her
think
little
they're
belly
huge.
goes, you know.
They think they're the
But
size
that's
of my
that's
sister's
their
dog.
job.
Yeah.
You know? You get your dog yet?
Nope.
Well, that's coming. It's a coming.
I don't have time.
It's a
I
coming.
don't have time.
It's a coming.
You know they
Yeah,
do.
husband
They
has
do take a
time,
lot
right?
of time. That's why I don't have animals. I
Huh?
said I love animals, but first I can't afford a bunch of them.
My biggest pet peeve is to not go up and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on dogs or cats, and then they get bored with them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And then they desert them when they send them to the Manchester Animal Shelter or the Bedford Animal Shelter or whatever. The only thing I like about the animal shelter in Manchester is it's a no-kill. Okay. I used to raise a lot of money for the Manchester Animal Shelter. The last time we did it, the lady was so negative, I said, I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
Yep. So now, if you don't mind, we'll talk about, well, you got some events coming up, right?
I do.
No, let's talk about it.
At Infinite Journey, we have a meet and greet that's going on Friday night. And then Amy's doing a rescue mediumship workshop over the weekend for her new book. And then we've got the Purple 4th of July parade.
Talk about that.
Talk about that?
Sure.
Well, it's going to be a big parade that comes down the road that we've been trying to raise money for all year. We're like really, really close right now. Not sure if we're going to have enough money to pull off both the parade and the fireworks.
You will.
We usually,
You get right to the border, right?
it's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close.
So if people would like to donate to that, how could they do that?
They could go onto the Purple 4th of July website,
Okay.
and there's a donation area that they could donate,
Very good.
which would be helpful.
You have a lot of bands?
We have, I think it's up to 64 entries, and that's not counting the fire trucks.
That's a lot. I don't like parades. I find it very boring.
Yeah, I mean, it used
I
to
don't
be a
like
big
fireworks.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be a big thing, but I think times
But
have
I'll
changed.
tell you, my friend who was my AA sponsor at one time, hot day, he had that gingerbread suit on, dancing around there, and I was hung over like there was no tomorrow. And of course, my son decided he wanted to walk in that parade. So you got to do what your son wants you to do, and I thought that parade would never ever end. And my friend is going, "I feel good, don't you feel good? Think you need another drink, do ya?" And he would antagonize me. In fact, he's talking to me now. Did you have a very close friend that passed away? Maybe 10, 15 years ago, someone that you might have gone to school with or whatever, and as a young man, or someone you might have known.
Not that I can think of right now.
I am looking at his, like a name of Roger's his name.
No, nothing's
As he
ringing
told
a
me
bell.
you're the only one that took care of you. If you saw a picture of him, you would know immediately, okay? He was a person who had a lot of trouble handling school. He had like ADD, and people used to make fun of him, especially in the 8th and 9th grade. And you were always here to encourage you to do better. So you help so many people you don't remember, and that's the cool part. But he remembers you, and he thanks you to this day. And he also has he used to wear a gold chain all the time, and he said that he always remembered you. That's how did you have like a gold necklace as well with a locket?
Probably.
Okay, because that's how he remembers you. And I have to give you a thank you for sticking up for him and being his friend. When I get this emotional, then I know it's real. Okay. You don't like people to know that you help other people, do you?
I try to keep to myself.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's good, but sometimes it's okay to have recognition. I don't like it either, but sometimes, it's good to.
Yeah, but you do it because you
wanna
do it because you want to do it. You don't
Right.
do it because you
Oh,
you
hell
want.
no!
Yeah.
I want the pat on the back and the big check right there. No.
I haven't seen a check yet.
Me either. I think I get a very lot of, and you've probably seen, I get a lot of support from other people, like, especially when the Democrats are slamming me, kinds of support, and all these people telling me that to keep my opinion to myself and all that. But I gotta say, I get a lot of support, so, and I try not to, mix politics in with the readings that I do or the event that I do. I'm not going to allow that. A lot of times I'll do the thing that just to get people going because I think it's fun. It takes away the and you're the same way. I can tell what you're writing. We agree on, and it's fun. I might want you to get into it. I get blocks, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There's one lady. She is supposed to be a high priestess in pagan group. And the negativity that she has towards people with Trump or whatever, I didn't think if you were a high priestess or what you and I do, that you should be that negative about people. So I wrote to her and I said, are you a high priestess? Is this what you're supposed to be? So she blocked me. They don't like to be called out.
That's one way not to answer the question.
Yeah. But it's true,
Yeah.
Am I perfect at what I do? No. Will I continue to learn? Yeah. Anytime anybody thinks they know it all, they've learned nothing.
Right.
But you know what? Hopefully, people will be at the polls and voting.
I encourage that.
Whichever way you want to go,
I always tell people, you don't vote, you don't speak out.
Right.
Well, back, I know when my parents were younger, we used to hear political discussions all the time, and you might see some between the guys getting heated, but then they'd walk away friends. It wasn't like it is today.
They'll shoot you today.
It's terrible today.
They really will.
It's terrible.
My thing is
like
if
they
you and I
have-
don't agree, explain to me why your version is better than my version.
Right.
So enlighten me as to what I'm
And then
not
if you
what I'm not
still
seeing.
don't agree, at least have self-respect for each other's
Right.
opinion.
Oh,
You
But at
you
least
can
you're
have,
willing to. At least you're willing to listen to somebody else's
right.
side.
You
Right.
can have
No
differences. Sorry, you can have
They'll yell at
differences
me.
of opinion.
Yep.
But Just
My feeling, though, Lori and I could not discuss. She'd get up and walk away. She'd be so mad at me. Like, if I didn't agree with what her and Glenn were talking about, she would literally walk out of the room. And I'm going, whoa, you know. And I had to be agreeable to everything she said or did. And I'm sorry, that's not who I am. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to tell you, and I want you to respect me enough to tell me. I may not like what you're saying, but like you just said, tell me your theory or what you agree with it or not. I think that's important. That's the biggest problem with this country today. We cannot talk to each other without, I'm always right, you're always wrong, and then losing the love for each other. Like, I made a comment on Facebook, I know you probably read, about the people outside playing basketball. And they didn't care about the color and each other's skin. They were there. They were men and women. I said they were playing basketball. You know, and I was saying how great that is. Some women come in and found that very disgusting. I go, wow.
Because people were getting along?
Because I made a comment. Yeah, because I made a comment like that. A lot of other people agreed with me. Because I thought, well, you know.
It wasn't political. It wasn't drug related. It wasn't.
No.
It was just people having a good time.
Yeah. And I see, and when they play basketball out there, I mean, there's no hold barred there. Right?
Serious? It's a serious game?
Serious game.
Barnyard
But they had
basketball.
fun. Oh, yeah. But you know what? They're having fun. There's this big white tall guy, lanky, scary. You wouldn't think he could stand up against anybody. Well, let me tell you what, he knows how to push his way around. Then there's other little short guy, he's from Africa, I believe, and he knows how to go in under the, I mean, they play for keeps. But they all shake hands after the game is over. Why can't we do that? It's my question. She got really slammy. But why can't we just be like the basketball players and say, hey, great game, let's be friends? I like being friends with people. Whether you like me or not, that's too bad. I'm going to get on your case anyways, you know. And like in our building, we have a multicultural, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
That live in our building, okay? And we all get along. You can. You can all get along if you want to. You know? And the one thing I've always said, what if all these people that are haters, like the KKK, the Panther, the Black Panther, all these other numerous charges, what if they all had blood tests done and they found out they had a little bit of Afro-American blood or a little...
I was going to say, what's that DNA test?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they do that
Yeah.
DNA test, and they find out they have, like, some parts are from Africa, some maybe from Greece, some maybe from... I mean, how would these KK or the Black Panthers, what would their excuse be then?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we're all born into one. By the way, you know a lot of aliens.
Well, see, this is what I want to talk to him about.
Well, he can't.
What do you
He's on the
mean?
air. He can't. It has to be confidential, right? You can talk about some things, but you can't really expose a lot.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought that was just when you were in the service.
No.
It hasn't been long enough.
What, that you've been out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
How,
bad.
how do animals and, I don't want to call them spirits, but, you know, people from other universes
There you go.
interact?
Uh,
Because wouldn't it be like a dog can see a spirit? Could a dog?
I have a dog that I have actually been training for paranormal research. And I honestly believe that he can distinguish the difference between a spirit and somebody who is not of earthly descent, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because the way he reacts towards that person, I mean, he doesn't, but he'll the way he presents himself. If it's somebody that may be of non-earthly descent, he puts himself in a different stance, and he'll put himself in front of me. Where if it's somebody that's earthly, he'll be at my side. And if it's a spirit that I can't see but he can sense, his actions are, I mean, you just got to learn how to read them.
So you can tell by the way he reacts.
Yeah.
So is it? Do you think that it's just not him? It's any animal.
I think all animals can pick up on it.
Absolutely. My cat, when my cat comes in, I had some people out front, and then people had never done a thing to my cat, but it'll literally run, and my dog will go to the other side of it. And when I have people that are, like you just said, I had one dog that would lay on my feet with people who we suspected could be alien, or if my little baby girl there, she'll lay right beside me, or she'll lay there and watch to make sure that then it's so. Do animals see spirit? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because they're so innocent.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Just like babies, Shem.
We were at a discussion a couple months ago, and we were listening to this gentleman's EVPs, and there was a cricket in the room, and when he was playing back the EVP, the cricket even stopped chirping when you started hearing the spirit's footsteps walking. So, and he never. I asked him. I said, "Did the cricket was the cricket there when you were recording?" He goes, "Yeah, the cricket was there all night. It was driving me insane." I said, "Did you ever hear the cricket stop?" And he thought. He went back and listened to it. The cricket stopped chirping as soon as he heard the footsteps in the room with him. And then once he felt that the spirit had left, the cricket came back and started chirping again.
Wow.
And crickets are a great form of security, because once the crickets
That's
stop,
true.
you know there's something in the area.
Yep, that's true.
So would that be something that you would bring with you? Would you bring a cricket with you?
That's a thought. Never thought of that. I mean, but that is a thought.
Because then you would know right away.
Right.
As soon as you heard the cricket stop.
Right.
As long, I guess you'd have to figure out if they get still, if they're transport, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I don't know what that,
Yeah,
I
you'd
don't
have
know.
to transport. You'd have to
cricketry.
Yeah, cricketry. Yeah, that's definitely.
Well, you would save their life if you bought them from the pet store so that they weren't
That's
eaten
true.
by a snake or a lizard or whatever
That's
it is that
true.
eats crickets.
That's true. I wonder what is their lifespan? I don't even know what a cricket lifespan is.
Their lifespan is probably under 6 months.
Nobody thought we were going to be discussing cricket lifespans.
Right? Yeah, I believe they're under 6 months because
Maybe.
like a mosquito's a lifespan of a mosquito is under a month.
Because when do you hear crickets? When it's hot.
Yeah, they come out in the springtime.
And
just like frogs, you hear peepers. When something spooks peepers,
Yep.
they stop.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
So that was one of the greatest things. One of our instructors always taught us is when you guys are out forwardly deployed, and you actually listen to the wildlife, because once the woods go quiet, normally things go bad.
Right. Or if the squirrels start going crazy.
Right.
If the squirrels start screaming.
Right.
Or something's not right.
Birds are chirping, and all of a sudden birds stop chirping, and the woods go quiet. There's something that's not supposed to be there.
It's amazing how the animals know. We were talking about this on 9/11. On 9/11, I was heading to work, and I live in a pretty rural area, and I was coming down the road, and I noticed that the animals were acting funny. And I had actually said something when I got to work. I was like, wow, I wonder what's going on with the animals today. Because you could see them that it wasn't normal activity.
Yeah. What was that last earthquake we had up this way? Was it 3 months ago?
Yeah.
My dogs were going insane. I was living in Elliott. Up, and then all of a sudden it starts popping up on social media and on the news that there was an earthquake up this way somewhere. And I had sent a message to your sister saying how's Ammo doing? My dogs are going insane, and all of a sudden all the information just started dumping in that there was an earthquake. We being in Elliott, 70, 100 miles away from where the earthquake center was, they still picked up on it.
Now, do you think that's because you're right on the river?
I think the river may dampen some of it, but I don't think it. I know when Maine had their earthquake a few years ago, I had a different set of dogs that have passed away since. They knew. They went insane 20 seconds before that earthquake rolled through. They went berserk, and all of a sudden my house jumps up and down. I felt it roll right through. And I'm like, what's going on with them? And all of a sudden,
Well, that's like with my cats. My cat and dog, he's an outdoor cat, but we can tell when a big storm coming, because it comes running into the house, and then dives under my bed, and my dog dives under my bed. You know what? People think the animals know how to take care of themselves better than we do when it comes to a storm. You know, they really do. They know how to, take care. I mean, remember, we're the ones that domesticated them.
Right.
If you think about all the animals that live, the bears and all that stuff, they know how to take care of them. They're a lot smarter than we are. One of my favorite sayings is on my website is, who's more wild, the animals or the people?
Right.
Animals only kill because out of necessity. They don't just so spontaneously kill people. You know what I'm saying? Well, we just do it for the sake of it, And how sad that is, We could learn a lot from animals. We really could if you wanted to take the time. Do you communicate with them?
I do.
It's fun, isn't it?
It is.
When my little girl there, when I'll go away on a trip, I might come back 2 days later. Boy, does she cop an attitude with me. She's happy to see me, but then she's right back in the room. Their
thought
don't.
process is so different. It's so you really have to kind of go.
But I would, and have you always had pets?
Most of my life that I can remember, there was a void in between where I lived in an apartment where I couldn't have pets. I had a cat. Yeah, so yes.
Yeah, me too. You?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got to get you situated here.
We have fish.
Well, they're pets, right?
Yeah.
They're a pain in the butt.
I love my
To
fish.
you or to your husband?
Well, they're saltwater
They're
fish,
very,
so
calming.
Yes.
you've got to make sure that the water temperature's warm, and you
So you
can't
have
go
to-
away because you got to feed
Yeah,
the
that's
fish.
my problem with them. I need somebody to take care of the tank, so I enjoy it meditatively. I don't want
Yeah. But they make the bait balls now. You can put in there. You can go away for a weekend.
Oh, he has fish that eat different,
Right.
different things. So you got to feed these guys something else, and you have to wait a couple of hours and then feed those. It's too much for me. My kids moved out, and I just say, you come back and feed them.
But he enjoys it.
He does.
He really does.
He does. It gives him something to do.
One thing that with all of us, I will tell you that in this country mainly is, we've got one of the biggest civil wars coming. We're already in the tip of it. We're already there. It's already started. And I'm not going to blame the presidents for it either. I'm not going to blame this one for it. I am going to blame the Illuminatis, if you want to talk about and I'm going to blame the people who thrive on creating the riots and who thrive on doing all this stuff, the drug cartel and all this stuff. And it's not going to be blacks against whites. It's going to be the sad part and people against each other.
Right.
And and until and if you read the Bible, which I've done before, even though I believe I know, if you read Revelation or if you read Nostradamus, and if you read, they are very parallel together. Hey, I used a big word. Lord would be proud of me.
Two big words.
Yeah. And if you use it together, you will see how they coincide. Another one together about how man is destroying themselves.
Right.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell you about a vision that I had. It didn't go away. And I even talked to Scott about it. You know how dark clay can be, right? Like the brown clay, the dark green, and the back can look like slate. And then I actually had a vision, and I kept saying, no, it can't be real. I went outside at the time, and I smoked a cigarette, and I said, no, but it wouldn't go away. The vision would not go away. Good, I want you to study this. I want an answer from you, okay? You ready? Okay. And, here was all the brown in the back, okay? Here there was like a dark green, and there was a small blue water, and up here was one lonely little tree, barren tree. And in the background, there was like the granite slate coloring, like the granite wall, like a mountainside, and up top there was a little lavender cover with a white on top, and the clouds where how you know how you wake up in the morning, you see the burned orange and the beautiful like that and all the dark, but yet over in this corner it was very dark, like a dark brown as well. I didn't see any black, but I saw a lot of that, you know. And out of that, what I got was that we have to destroy this earth to rebuild. And when I don't mean we all have to be killed or anything like that, but I mean there's things in this earth that we have to destroy in order to rebuild back again. You know, what's that comment all meant? And I still see it today as I'm talking to you. I'm getting a really big feeling about it. What do you sense on that?
So the constructs that are not working is what you're
Right.
talking about. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's going on now. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I think there are, there's stuff like that that's been in place for a long time that's been keeping people down or keeping them from doing what we're supposed to do, as a country or as a world, as a planet. And I do think that's going to come to a head.
Oh, I'm looking at not in another 10 years, we're going to see a lot of big. But once all this rebuilds, once this all is destroyed, you're going to see the sad part. It takes all this destruction. You're going to see lumber yards working. You're going to see people being carpenters. Can you drive a nail in straight? You can? Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I was going
hell,
to say,
can't.
you're going to bother asking him?
Well, I can't. No. Oh my God.
I knew he could do it.
I'm not the greatest carpenter in the world, but I mean I can drive a nail.
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a finish carpenter, but I can rough carpenter.
That's the thing. My
I wouldn't have patience for finish.
my oldest stepson could do finish carpentry work like there was no tomorrow. But then he got inside the drugs, and he was a beautiful artist, But drugs can do a horrible thing to a person.
I think finish carpentry is a form of art. It really
It is.
Yeah,
It really
definitely.
is. I went doing a siding for this company one time. We were up high. They had to get the fire engine and come get me down. When I got down there, my paycheck was waiting for me. Of course, I couldn't understand why. Then I fell asleep on my graduation party. I fell asleep under a tree with a flower pot. I woke up, my check was there, the flower pot. I am not an outdoorsman person. No. But one thing I am seeing, and I still firmly believe that within the next 5 years in Africa, I'm seeing between 125,000 and 2.5 million acres of land being burnt and destroyed. A lot of innocent animals, a lot of innocent people, and a lot of innocent children, all because of voodoo and witchcraft.
I think what's going to happen, and you would have a better idea of it than I would, that if we go to war again, this isn't going to be like man-on-man fighting. They've got weapons of mass destruction, which are going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
I hope nuclear is not deployed. I really do. But yeah, today's day and age. I mean, well, and even in Afghanistan, I mean, they're engaging at ranges of over 1,000 meters. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they still are getting close quarter ambushes. But I mean, even what we call an unorganized, terrorist outfit, I mean, they have skill.
Yeah.
And they have money which can buy these weapons.
I'm also a believer that there's a small country out in between Sweden and Russia. Okay, it's not a real big company. A country. I wish I could have the facts in front of, but there is a control in that country that can, like 3 or 4 people can destroy this earth. I really believe that, and I also believe it has a lot to do with the Illuminati and the. Okay.
There, what is there's, we were just talking about CERN.
Yes.
CERN is in Sweden,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're working on antimatter, and they have, if they don't treat it in the right manner, they could definitely cause a lot of destruction.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, do you have a trivia question for us?
I I don't have one handy at the moment. Let me
Okay.
check here.
Okay, if you have time, put one out your note, that's cool. But anyway,
Sure.
okay. One of the things I do want to talk about, but change the subject completely, I have the right because I'm the queen, If things work out right, we're going to be having a yard sale July 28th to help the Healing Paws. And if anybody wishes to donate, they can contact me through Facebook. But please, no political part about donating, okay? I've had some people really, if I change my party, they'll donate. I'm not changing my party. Yeah.
Jeez.
But, and also, I'm excited. I'll send you info on it. And I'd love to have you come as the reader or spiritual. And for your, I can never remember, for your, info for the outer space here. No, for the spirit. What do you call them?
The paranormal group?
The paranormal. If they want to set up a table and advertise what they're doing, okay, I'll send you info on that as well. I personally, and none of the members on my board, it's so excited to have board members now. This is the first time we've had it, ever had it.
Awesome.
It's always been Scott, who did a tremendous job, and myself and my daughter-in-law. We did it all. But then we have volunteers to actually help at the event itself as well. Now we've got a 6 or 7 board member, and I'm kind of frightened to allow people to do it because I'm so used to doing it my way. Now I have to realize there are other people that are going to be doing it as well. We'll be having raffles. And we're going to be having a bake sale, so if anybody wants to donate something that they make, no store bought, because they don't want they have to put down their name on the ingredient, what's in it, in case somebody's allergic to it and stuff like that. And we're buying a popcorn popper, so that when
Nice.
people come in, they'll have something free. They'll have popcorn.
I love fresh popcorn.
Huh? I'm
I know,
sorry?
just the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had this one person, she went complaining about the insects burning or the fuse burning or whatever, about the smell. And then she'd go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Right. And that smells so much
So
better.
can I ask, what was the scariest place you've ever done a paranormal investigation?
You didn't let me finish. Go ahead.
That's okay. I
Go
can
ahead.
answer after.
No, finish.
I did.
What was the most what?
What was the scariest place she's ever done a paranormal investigation? I thought you were finished. I'm sorry.
I don't think anybody. I don't think I've ever really been in a place that's scared me.
No.
No,
Or
I'm
with
not-
spirits that were there,
I'm not easily frightened. Actually, I'm usually the one saying, if somebody comes too close or gets in my face and nobody can see it, they'll hear me talking to it. Back off, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even think of that. Can you think of anything?
No.
It's really, we don't get.
First of
don't
all,
get really
spirits aren't out there
scared.
to talk. To scare
Well,
you.
we don't get
Right.
really scared because it's usually they're just people. They were people. If they're not people, then they might be things that we just kind of ignore or avoid. But it depends. We're really there to help the people understand what's going on.
Right.
So
Do you have the permission of the spirits?
permission of the spirits.
Yeah, to go to talk to them.
I always ask.
Good.
Yeah, we.
I think that's important.
And that's one of the main things the team focuses under is to respect everything, human, spirit, animal, no matter what it is. You walk in with the utmost respect. We're not here to force you to do anything. We're not here to make you do party tricks. We're here just to communicate and document.
A lot of them don't want to be documented, do they?
I find that's true.
Yes.
And
I
then
do
they
too.
just won't, they won't show
They won't
themselves or they'll
cooperate, no.
hang back. Or,
There was this one group on, I'm not going to say who they are, I don't think it's important. And he was going on, oh, he grabbed my leg. I feel a burning sensation. He grabbed my leg and all that. And I walked over to him. I said, if you're a wrestler, they don't touch you. They may
because
not.
you see that on TV,
Right.
when they show you the show,
Yeah.
and I understand it's TV.
Yeah, that's
You know.
all play
Right.
acting.
yeah.
Well, in my personal feelings is when somebody feels that burning sensation of being touched, you got to remember that they're energy, we're energy, and our energy is making contact with each other, and all that is as far as I believe, is a transference of energy. They're not causing you any harm. They're not burning you on purpose.
just
It's the
feels
transference of
different.
energy.
First of all, I don't hear that a couple of. First of all, if you came to my house, and you were going to do that, and it was a paranormal group, and any of you were drinking, I would never ever allow you in my house to do
Right.
it.
No, we don't do
But
that.
do you think that sometimes the spirit is just as curious about you as you are about them?
Yeah.
Yep,
Bring it up.
absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, so the trivia question is, who released the 1979 album Off the Wall?
Give us a call. Okay, give
Yeah.
us a call, and I'll give you a 10-minute reading. She doesn't know it yet. She'll give you. We'll divide it 5 and 5 reading. No, we'll do a 10-minute reading on you. Give us a call. That's a good question. You can't answer it.
And the
It's-
number
I can't.
is
I don't even know.
640
No, they showed it on there.
3091. Again, that number is 640 3091.
I've been putting the wrong number on my TV show.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who released the 1979 album Off the Wall?
We're going to keep this going until somebody actually uses it. Not, a week after week after week till somebody uses it.
Okay, so I can't wait 3 weeks and just say the answer
No.
like I did last time.
No. Yeah, that's what you blew it the last time. And that was with the Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that, too. And who was in,
Bippity bop.
yeah, Dibbity Bop Boo. And then the other narrator there. So, actually, I am going to finish this one now, and then we'll go back to what you asked the question on, all right?
Okay.
The date that we are going to have the event is October 20th from 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. You are more than welcome to come in the night before and set up, okay? There is no entrance fee, okay? I don't believe in that. A lot of people do have entrance fees, and I'm sorry, people come with a certain amount of dollars, and maybe all they can afford is that reading,
Right.
okay? And I think if you make it that monetary, then you're not giving the true spirit of what it wants to be, okay? And if anybody else here would like to set up a table for vendor services or whatever, you can contact me on Facebook, you can email me at psychicvisionsbynorm. Or you can go to my website there, spiritualvisionary.net. You can get a whole lot of us. We're all going to be there. And I want to be one of the biggest, and I believe with your blessings and yours all, that it would be one of the biggest events I've ever held. And it's exciting. I like doing events. Have you ever put one on?
I haven't put one on, no.
Oh, you'd be good at it, have you?
I have. It's
Isn't
very
it exciting?
It's exciting, but it's also stressful too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I thrive on it.
Yeah.
I believe that's what keeps me young. And you're the same way, right? We thrive on all these challenges because and then I like it, oh my God. Then when it's all over, I'm all ready to start doing it all over again. Like last time we raised $2,200 after expenses, we gave the animal shelter $1,800.
Do you also, excuse me, do you also put like I know you said you don't charge to get in.
Right, I have a
which
donation
think
cup.
You donation, yeah, good.
Yeah. And we also are inviting people who have animals like the Manchester, and we'll let them set up a table. And then pitch. The last time they came, they had, who can see little dicky pictures, And if you're going to want to, the auction, if they want to, show the pictures, then okay, make it so they can see it. Oh, and also on August 12th, the Healing Ponds and North Community Corner and Cruiser and Mary, we're going to be doing blessings at Sweetie Park by where I live from 4 to whenever it's done by animals and people.
Nice.
Sweet.
So Amy came the last time.
Did she?
Yeah, she was great. And I'm going to see if she can make it again. If you can make it, you're welcome. And you're welcome to come. Anyone wants to come. Folks, all you got to do is give me $1,000 per person. Well, I can dream.
There's no
can't I?
entry fee. But
Well, that's what the blessings say. Well, I need to get more rings. You know, so no. Well, don't take it seriously. And actually, I have to call the park because I got the blessing it was okay before, but I believe in doing the rules, you know, because I don't want to have to pay $300, $400 or something like that to that, you know. And like the yard sale is pretty reasonable, so I can't complain. Actually, the city of Manchester has been very kind to me about having the different events, you know. We used to, one of the things we had at the old studio on Commercial Street, I used to have psychic events, and that's what I learned to do 50-50 with the readers and whatever the vendors made. And I never used to. I used to keep all the money for the charity and not give the readers anything. I didn't know that you know what I'm saying. No wonder they were mad at me, you know. And, stuff.
Right.
And they don't forgive.
Yeah.
I only thought readers, spiritual people are supposed to be forgiving, but not all are.
No, some of them aren't.
No, you know. And so I apologized to everybody that I can't do anymore. Then I went to another certain club who raised money, and I did it the right way, and the club ripped off the money.
Oh, jeez.
I won't mention that. I think it's important. But I learned that I'm calm. I'm probably like my, 2001 to now, to 11, probably like 15 here. I've had a couple of years I haven't done it through. But you learn as you grow. You know, as you grow, you learn. And believe me, I haven't learned it all yet. I thought about doing a pole dance, but people won't let me. I don't. Well, how about you give me money so me to keep my clothes on? You know, but it's fun.
So how did you, not to interrupt you, but how did you, what made you start the whole idea of healing paws?
I've seen so many people that have animals, okay, that can't afford a vet. And I see so many people that have to, unfortunately, allow their dog to die in pain. We went and helped one lady. She paid a vet bill, and because she didn't have the $100 for the medication, then we're going to let that poor dog go home without medication. Another example is my son didn't know it. He owed $27, and they had not cremated his dog because he owed a balance of $27.
Oh.
And that was the emergency hospital, Manchester Emergency Hospital. Sue me if you dare, you know. And this is what, and a lot of the old people, they can't afford.
Right.
Okay, I want to get a veterinarian that will come to their house and take care of the animal. We're not going to give the cash or the money to the people. The veterinarian has to call us, and we'll pay for it with a minimum of $2,500. Is what, I mean, maximum. We'll pay for the bill. We won't pay for the neutering. Thank you guys for giving this opportunity. We won't pay for because there's so many organizations out there that'll pay for the neutering. We will not support we will not pay for the animal shelter because that could drain the budget. We do it for private individual people. If you want to have your husband neuter, we'll pay for that. That's what I mean, you know.
If you have extra money left over, one of the things that food pantries could use also is pet food. Because a lot of people that have pets that find themselves in a situation that they don't have food, they can't feed the pet.
I will look into that more. It's more for the veterinarian medical bills, you know. We'll check on that, but it's more for, like, you know, having your husband neutered or having your wife spaded or whatever, you know. No. Only kidding, folks. Only kidding. It's for the animals, like if they need to have a surgery or if they need, or if somebody can't pay for the medication, this is what we'll pay for. My treasurer will handle it all. They have to go through her. We're gonna go. It's a pilot situation, so we're gonna have like a number of veterinarians on call or whatever, and we'll have a driver who will take it. We'll pay the driver. You know, I didn't realize you have to pay people. You know, like you have to have one paid staff person on a nonprofit.
That's interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense to have some kind of structure and rules.
Yeah, but they have. But the government says you have to have one paid person.
Is that just in New Hampshire?
No, that's a federal.
Because I belong to 3 in Massachusetts, and I don't believe we have a paid person.
Yeah, you probably do.
That's interesting. I'll have
Because
to
my
ask.
mother works for a nonprofit as a bookkeeper, and they have to pay her.
Yeah.
She's paid part-time, but they have to pay her.
No matter what the minimum is, but you have to pay whether it's $100 a year or whether it's $500.
I know when we have our
have to.
taxes done, we pay the accountant. You know, but they're not part of the. I guess
No.
they could be considered part of the
No, you have to,
organization,
like the
right?
treasurer, I have to pay her somebody, you know, if we or whoever it is, you know, and then you can either we can pay you and then you can give it back the money or however they want to do it, okay? But you do have to pay.
Yeah.
The driver, I feel we should pay them the gas or whatever because it could be going out of their way, and you know this is a project That has been probably 15 years. I've been
Wow.
dreaming about this. 15 years. About 15 years, right, Scott? Yeah.
So Scott came first?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
Well, I had the labor pays for it. And there are many a nights I keep saying that, I keep going with it. Yeah, no. But now I have the most wonderful committee. I have my friend Jane Machard. She's a secretary. I have Elizabeth Miller. She's a treasurer. Scott's a vice president. I'm the president. Only in name. I'm just going to sit back and let all these other people. My daughter-in-law does all the artwork. My friend Dave Miller is building our website for us. So, and we're going to be doing I'll have to find someone to set up a GoFundMe for it too. And people are more willing to help animals than they are people. And at the event that we have coming up, it's exciting. You can't tell I get excited. I do. I really do. It's a dream coming true.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's why I want somebody else to handle it all, because I don't want to have anything to do with the money. I don't want to have anything to do with the bookkeeping, because I just want to watch this thing grow. And my son told me that he would take it over if anything happened to me, so that's
Nice.
pretty cool.
That's great.
Okay. Dreams can come true.
Yep.
If I get emotional, I apologize, but dreams can come true. And then my goal is in the next 5 years to expand like to Maine, in the hillbilly area up in Maine. Folks, I'm only kidding. Maine I love Maine.
It's
I
beautiful.
really do.
But
They don't-
you're not too far off. There is some hillbillies.
Yeah.
Well, they have them in New Hampshire too.
But I was up in Bangor, Maine.
Yep.
What a beautiful area. And they were telling me this. One guy just said, I just got out of court. I go, oh, I'm sorry. What did you do? He said, I threw a piece of paper on the ground, and it cost me $250. They really do go gun-ho for it, and I think they should. Another lady, her dog poopy pooped on the ground, and that was another $150. They should enforce it here, but sadly they don't. And that's what makes it bad for the rest of the dog owners. Because
Right.
if they don't, it only takes that one lady. I yelled at her. I said, that's your dog? Yeah. You got a poopy bag? No. I said, here, clean it up, or I call the police right now.
Yeah.
She cleaned it up, never came back. And that's at the dog park, I don't like the dog parks to be
So
done.
at the dog park, people don't clean up after their dogs?
Well,
They're
let's
supposed
say
to.
they're supposed
I was going to say, I thought that was...
They're supposed to, let's put it that way. If there's nobody there, you know what I mean?
Somebody
Yeah.
will always try to get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, yeah.
And I find that pretty I don't, like I had a lady who used to bring her dog up on our yard, and I'd say, your dog just messed. Oh, well, I just wanted to greet you. I go, no, you're coming back and clean it up, right? And she, no, you just want me to see my body. I go, lady, you're pretty disgusting. All I wanted to do is have you pick up that dog poop. I was living on it. I went and picked it up. I said, if I catch you on this side of the road again, I'm going to put a hex on you. You never show back up.
And you were just talking about that bad magic.
No, I want to do it in a positive way. People think that because we do psychic readings and all, that we can automatically do all these hexes on people, that we automatically do this and that. And when the bad spirit, yeah, I could. Do I want to do it now? No, because I don't want it coming back at me.
I think they confuse psychic ability with a lot of other things.
Yeah, like witchcraft,
Right.
and I'm not a witch. My son pagan, he does everything, and don't. His state always is, do unto others as you will do for yourself.
Yeah.
And he's a firm believer in that.
Do what you will and harm none.
Yeah, and there's so many, oh no, so many of that, and it's so sad. It's like in every religion, everything you do, there's a lot of hypocrites and everything.
Mm-hmm.
People will be people.
So, yeah, you can't change them.
Nope.
Nope. You own your own house? Is it a condo or is it an apartment? That you
I
live
have
in?
lived there long enough and paid rent that I should own it, yes.
I hear you. Me too. Because
I
I do
like
see you moving.
I like it.
You like it there?
I got the blessing from one of the original owners. Yeah. She walked through, smiled at me.
She passed
disappeared
away.
down the cellar stairs.
Do you want to buy? You want to own your own house? Or are you very comfortable?
I'm not necessarily very comfortable. I like the house. I've been there a long time.
I actually see you in a three bedroom house.
I would love that.
And I actually see like it has a lot of clapboards, what do you call them?
Clapboards.
Huh?
Clapboards.
Clapboards? Okay,
Yeah.
around there. And it's going to have a lot, that's like a fixer-upper. Well, your husband can fix it up, right?
He can. He
Okay.
will.
And you, ooh! Wow, we see who controls that house, don't we?
Hey,
Get
if
your
we own a
butt out
house,
there.
It's on.
Yeah. Get your butt out there and fix that now. You hear me? I'll do
You're
my
gonna call on line 2,
line 2.
the one closest to Norm.
Hello, welcome to Norman's Community Corner. Hello.
Give it a second.
It says enter number.
Oh, they hung up. No, call that. Billy Berry.
No,
Now,
it
you
said
teach
Margaret
Tai
Atkinson.
Chi, right?
I do.
Okay.
Part-time.
Okay, let's talk about that. I talked about myself enough.
So Tai Chi is it's a really wonderful exercise, especially for aging population. The only people that really probably wouldn't respond to it well at this point are young people, because most young people want something a little faster. But it's extremely good for your balance. The way I teach it, especially, I talk about your feet all the time and being grounded, sinking your energy into the earth, and making that connection with the heavens. So it is really to...
Thank you for calling Norman, friends. This is Bridget.
No, Norm
Oh,
Community Corner.
Norm's Community Corner. I'm sorry.
Hi, this is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good, Norm. How are you?
I am doing very good. What can we do for you, darling?
I heard you had some trivia questions.
Yeah. Okay. Want to tell what I forgot? What is it? Hang on.
It was who was the artist for the 1979 album Off the Wall?
That's Michael Jackson.
Congratulations. You just won a 10-minute reading. Would you like that?
I would love that.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And you said you got your seatbelt on.
I absolutely do. Always wear it.
All right.
And ready to go.
Hey, all right. One of the things I'm seeing about you is that you have, I love your upbeat, first of all. I think you're, most of the time, you're pretty upbeat. Am I correct?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. But when you're upset, I'm running away until you get calmed down.
That's probably a good idea.
Okay. I also will tell you, are you looking for a career change?
Am I what?
Looking for a career change.
A new job.
Yes, I'm looking for a career in general, please.
Okay, you got one coming if you really want it. I'm looking like in the middle of the summer, and it's going to be quite a challenging career for you. Okay? And it's going to be doing a lot of work with people. You like to work with people?
Yep,
Good.
I do.
Are you a nurse?
No, I'm not.
Okay. What do you do?
I was a hairdresser.
Oh, well, that's nursing. I was. You had to put up with their little moans and groans, right?
Yes, actually, a lot of hairdressers segue into nursing and vice versa for some
Right.
reason.
I
Yeah.
would think therapy.
Yeah. I was in nursing and hairdressing, too, like you just said. Then I went back into nursing. Because I would also encourage you to go back to school and take a course in nursing. You would be fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about that.
I was actually going to ask her if she did medical.
Yeah, because I think, or if you did something to work with people, you need to work with people. Because otherwise, you're going to be lost, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm always lost, but you're going to be lost and wonder, what should I do next? You need to find something that you're going to be comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think nursing would do one of the things. I also said you're going to do a lot of traveling within the next 5 years.
Well, that's because that's something that's missing in my life. I used to have a lot of, and I was just talking to my father today about how much I missed traveling.
Well, you got to get a job where you can travel then if you're not in nursing, but you really got to do a lot because you're very good at any job you choose to do. You would be very good at, and there will be a lot of traveling. You're a no-nonsense person when you're working, huh?
Yes, I am.
And one thing I like about your personality, they always say men have it, but the one thing I like about your personality is they never know if you're kidding around or if you're joking, because you had this kind of like very serious look about you that people will never know if you're serious or not.
That's true, Norm. A lot of people tell me I have a little too much testosterone, but I just think that
No.
they don't always get my humor.
That's it. Don't change your personality. Okay? Don't change it. Who's the lady that passed away that you were close to?
I had a grandmother that I felt close to.
Okay. I want you to know that she's very comfortable and very happy where she's at. Well,
Oh, good.
excuse me. Was this on your dad's side?
It was, yes.
Okay. And he told me to tell you to tell your dad to stop being such a brat. Whatever that means, I don't know. Okay. But he also
Okay, that's a word we use in the family quite a lot, so I will definitely pass it on.
Okay. And she kind of spoiled you, huh?
Actually, we didn't get to spend a lot of time with our grandparents, but I always did feel especially close to her.
Right. And I want you to know she's very you're her favorite, by the way.
Aw, she's my favorite too.
Okay. And I also see she enjoyed celebrations, didn't she?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, she's telling me yes, she did. In fact,
Okay.
and I also will tell you that she's very proud of you. She said that
Really?
yep, she said you've come a very, very long way in your life. Your life has not always been the easiest, am I correct?
Yeah, well, it started off real good and then kind of went in the tanker for a little while.
But you didn't allow yourself to stay there, did you?
I'm struggling.
You're going to come out to winter. I actually see a lot of financial reprieve coming to you. Hey, I used a big word.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I do. Stop beating yourself up so much.
I have a couple.
Okay.
What was her name again? I'm sorry.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. This is Paula.
Paula's also a
Paula.
reader.
Are you into dancing? Do you like to dance?
She needs to
I
talk
used
in
to
the mic.
dance a lot, 5-6 nights a week, and I did that in school as well as a gymnast and a cheerleader.
And is there a reason you stopped?
Yeah, I had a real bad accident.
Okay. Is it something you can't continue now?
Excuse me?
Is it something that you cannot continue now because of the accident, or?
Well, yeah, I have a lot of pain issues.
Okay. Okay. A couple of other questions. Do you, I'm seeing water around you. Now, do you like water, or do you need to be doing something with water?
No, water's kind of my enemy.
Why is that your enemy?
I really don't know. It's just, I don't like to be, I don't mind being on it, but I definitely don't like to be in it.
Okay.
I'm okay on a boat if I can see the shore,
Mm-hmm.
but not going on a cruise, not swimming in the ocean, none of that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
one of the reasons why that you don't like being in the water, because in your past life you actually drowned in.
That's what I've often thought,
Okay.
because I just have an unreasonable
You were actually
issue with it.
yeah, you were actually a man in your past life, and you were thrown over as a traitor to the people that were on the ship that you were on.
Oh, that's not good.
No, but you've made up for it in many other ways. Okay. You're also.
I often thought that there was something I did in a past life that made me have
Yeah.
to live through the pain that I live through every day.
Well, you're learning how to appreciate what you have today, even though you're having a lot of pain. You're actually learning how to appreciate your life today, because in one of your past lives, you were pretty wealthy and you were always careless about other people. So now you're learning today how to appreciate what you have. And I actually see a lot of the pain that you're in today subsiding.
I'm looking forward to that.
I think it's another big word. I would probably recommend acupuncture
Or Tai Chi.
or Tai Chi.
I've been thinking about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're still able to drive though, right?
I'm able to. I just don't possess the ability to.
Okay, because that's going to come back to you soon.
Good. I need that.
Yeah, you got to
I feel like my soul is dying inside when I can't drive. Drive someplace.
Right. One of the things I do see is a lot of spiritual healing coming within your body. I love that. Tai Chi would be good for her too. She's, by the way, my co-host. One of my co-hosts is a Tai Chi instructor. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also recommend a whirlpool if you're not too afraid of it. Get into or a sauna. You said whirlpool too.
I said water. She
Water,
needs to,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
a safe way to
But
do
if
it.
you get
yeah.
into a tub with a whirlpool in it, that's going to help your body tremendously. But you got to build your courage up. I'm not going to tell you to plunge right in there and do that, okay?
Right.
Because I know you get a little. You're still nervous about a shower, huh?
Yeah, I actually am.
Okay. But the one thing about a shower is that I feel great about it. But if you can find a way to get into a whirlpool or a sauna, that would help you tremendously.
Okay.
A lot of the nervous tension that you have is creating a lot of pain for your body. You have to realize this, that you can and will be the winner.
Okay, that's good.
Okay? If you have any question about what we talk about, my home number is 641-3187, area code 603. So if you want to give me a call and say who you are, we'll be very happy to talk with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. She got one more.
Hey, Lisa, I got one more question for you. Do you like to write?
I used to. I think I'm a good writer, but I definitely could spend more time writing. I don't keep a journal or anything like that.
I think that would be a good idea to keep a journal. It also gets a lot of, speaking as an empath, I write a lot because it gets a lot of stuff out of my body and onto the
Anguish.
page, everything, anything.
What the anger that you have, you're a volcano ready to explode.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you now, start writing. You'll be amazed at how much all the anger that is coming out of your body. It will help you to feel better.
It's huge.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and I would
So
also...
I don't like to, because I'm a Gemini,
Yeah.
so sometimes I feel like if I write stuff down, that it becomes real.
Nope.
So
Nope.
that's why I don't write a lot of stuff down, because I don't want to make the anger that I feel real.
Oh, no.
So
you're
maybe I could just write that down and burn it or something.
Oh,
You could.
one thing I always encourage people to do, if you have some sage or if you get some sage, I would definitely tell you to write out, and you're going to write a book. Okay.
I should see a book,
okay.
yes.
Okay, and whether you get so many, I would definitely tell you to tear it up and put it in sage, because you're letting go of all that anger and you're sending into the universe. Other people will tell you to put it in a Bible, put it in a drawer, but that's not doing anything.
No,
So if you can tear it up and put it into your in a bowl with some sage in it, I believe that you will feel a lot better.
I also think
Okay, I'll try that.
Lisa, when you get done with writing all that stuff and releasing it, that you will start to write things that actually matter.
Yeah, I feel better.
And you will find that you enjoy it, and there's subjects that you have knowledge about, and you will write about them.
You're also very psychic.
That's funny you say that.
Yeah.
I believe my grandmother that we recently spoke about,
Right.
I believe that she was like,
She also gave you the powers to do it too. She told me to tell you not to give up on yourself.
okay,
Okay, hon, I'm
I'll
going to...
trust in her.
Okay, thank you. If you, like I said, if you want to give me a call sometime and tell me we talked to you on the show, give me a call, we'll talk.
Okay, will
Okay?
do.
Have a real blessed
Thank
day.
you so much
Yeah.
for your time. I appreciate it. You don't know how much. I really
All right.
do.
And repeat after me. I am a winner.
I am a winner.
And write it down in your big book.
Okay,
Okay? And say hi to your dad for me.
I will.
All righty. Bye-bye now.
Okay, thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Yeah,
Bye.
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 Was that 10 minutes?
I felt like it.
Hit that button. We'll get you there.
13.
There we go. We'll get you there.
A little
That was
overtime.
awesome. Huh?
Yeah.
It was fun.
I see a lot of... I love doing phone readings. Do you like doing phone readings?
I've never done one.
Really? You just did. And see how good you were?
Yeah, I have to write though. It's funny. That's my process.
A lot of people. You know, with me, I think one of my favorite things is actually doing phone readings because you don't know the person.
Right.
I'm gonna start doing it with Skype to make sure I'm doing it right. When that would help me set it up because I like looking. I had one lady. She said to me, "Are you in my bedroom?" I go, "No." Can I describe? She was in a orange-colored negligee. That she was pregnant and she was laying, and that scared the hell out of her. You know, going, "Oh my God," you know.
You can actually do that through Facebook Messenger.
Huh?
You can do video calls through Facebook Messenger.
Oh yeah, but I have Skype too.
Yeah, but if you do,
You have to explain it to me later.
no, when you go on
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Yeah.
you can call when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
on
I do
Messenger.
that, yeah.
You can call the person, and then you can also hit video,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I
and
do
they
that.
can.
Oh my God, I might be viral video. That's how you viral? What
Viral.
about through on
Viral.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I stood out in front of the 7-Eleven on our street and had this cool music going on with the girls. So I'm dancing around, shaking, you know, doing all that. I looked at the video again. I'm going, oh my God. I went out thinking I'm running down the street like a queen with my hand waving, and oh my God. So there was video, they blew the horn. But it was all in fun, you know. So I'm like, oh my God, now I'm going to go, you know. But one of the things I'm seeing with you is you need to, where are your glasses?
In the truck?
No, okay. You need to wear more. Thank you. So, will you get any event that you're going to? Or any what are your hours for teaching?
Not really. I haven't set up the fall hours yet. We're going to be doing it through the York Rec Center in York, Maine, and it will be at night. So I haven't quite set that up yet. I usually teach Mondays and Wednesday nights, but I don't know if they'll be switching that because we're kind of in a new place.
Right.
So
And how long are the hours?
it's an hour long.
Oh,
It's an hour long for a class.
now, you do it too, right?
Not yet.
Oh, you're going
I
to.
was just going to start, and then they moved location, so I have to wait for her to get
Do
anchored.
you have a baseball bat if they don't do it right?
I don't need one. All I need is my face.
Oh.
It's very persuasive.
And, okay, so you have any events coming up?
Is it difficult to do? I mean, if you're such as myself, totally uncoordinated.
No.
No.
No, because it's done very, very slow. And most people want to rush because what's happening is the mind is tense. And so they're always kind of rushing forward and trying to go fast. And it's actually disconcerting for people in the beginning because people aren't used to being. I did. People aren't used to moving really slow. And they're not used to it. It's kind of, I didn't find it uncomfortable, but a lot of people do. But it's slow for a reason. It's slow when you do slow movements. One reason this is good for older people, especially, or any age, is that especially if you've had injuries or something like that, you're doing some light weight bearing away from the body when you do the different postures, and because it's done slow, you know, it's not a lot of weight, so most people can handle it.
Where you say it's weight building, is it bone building?
Yes, it does all of those things. You really cultivate. It's all about cultivating the
Fortunately,
energy.
we have to start saying goodbye. Thank you two for coming on. And now, just when it's well, you're coming back on.
Yes, I'm sure I will.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got 3 minutes. Okay. So hopefully, maybe I can talk to you and do like a 15 or 20-minute quick teaching at the event if you can make it. I hope you can.
Sure.
Okay. And or maybe both of you guys set up a table or whatever, and we'll talk to you more about that. But I want to thank you two for coming on, and thank you
for
for
having
being
us.
co-host with me again. You're coming on next week as well, right?
That was my plan.
Yeah, okay, I just like to make sure. Yeah, but, you know me, I get discombobulated here. We had 3 cancellations, so
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
very grateful that you two came on at the last minute. Okay, and I want to thank
Thank
everybody
you for
out
coming.
there. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you for those who listen, and thanks to Lisa for actually answering the question and getting it right.
We had quite a few callers.
We did?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
Only one got it right.
Lisa got there
got
first.
it there first.
Oh, okay. Well, next week we'll be having another one.
Music questions are good.
Yeah, they are. Thanks to our director, cameraman, what do you want to call him? One of our great friends here for supports for you, Paul. And he will probably find us another one. We appreciate it. And remember, every day, folks, you are the winner.